Well, we finally did something. I'm shorting the all-time highs here, folks. Probably got in a little early, but we extended that 25% range. Might get smoked. Asia, if we go back and look at what it did, um, it started hitting the all-time highs right here. Okay, so it poked higher and then poked higher again, took it out again, and then pulled back again, and then that created the all-time high overnight, and then finally fell out of bed, back down to settlement. So I'm hoping that New York will follow some sort of suit with that. I mean, if it's a computer writing the stuff, we may have one more push up. This one, one, two, three, and then lower high. We haven't had that lower high yet. So I think I'm going to take the risk off of here just in case. But we do have a fair value gap to the downside. I would like to see it respected here. So far, it's being respected. But that could change in the blink of an eye. We're extremely bullish today. I should be drawing it over here. So I'm going to put my stop right here at the top of that candle that created the fair value gap, and that way at least I won't lose money on this trade. So we'll make this big, and we'll make the fair value gap over here on the NQ rather than MNQ because they do trade a little different. We have some volume imbalances here that we kind of wicked into. It could just come down and get into this fair value gap and reverse. But typically when we go past, when we extend a range, 25% is all we want. And this mark was just a roundabout figure. If we go to a weekly chart, let me get rid of this volume. I don't like it being on there. So let's go to a weekly chart. And we go from the bottom of this run up to that all-time high, or actually that all-time high. So we'll run that. Bottom of this run up to that all-time high. So the 25% extension is actually that's weird. 422. Is that the all-time high? Yeah, it is. I thought it was 450. Yeah, it is. It's higher than that. Yeah, right here is whoa, 311. I'm doing something wrong because I've marked this out several times. Unless they've changed some stuff. Huh. When I mark this one, let's see, this one from that all-time high to there, that was a 25% extension and a pullback right there. So I marked this rundown from here to here. Actually, you'd have to mark You'd have to mark this. That puts us all the way up here to 20 to 400, over 400. Huh. We may have some more upside. I don't know where I got that number. Why are why are we not showing all of these candles? Let's put on a daily. Has there been some sort of adjustment for rollover? Because I marked this out a couple of weeks ago. 24,422. 23,450 is where I had it marked. I don't know what I've done. But I evidently had my upper target wrong. That's the upper target. That's a 25% extension of the range, but it was a huge range. See, this range here was much less. Either way, I don't know why I'm in this trade based on that, but we got a reversal pattern on an extremely bullish day, and so far it's working out in my favor. Let's zoom in. I'm looking at it as we took a 4-hour high, regardless of all this upper target business. I mean, that's way the heck up there. How in the world? I don't know what's going on with that. But I had 450 marked as my range extension for weeks. But I don't know how I don't know how I came to that number. Let's go to a 4-hour. We took a 4-hour high. If we just forget the fact that this is an all-time high, and the rules about the all-time high is that we start making all-time highs, you assume that we are going to continue to do so until proven otherwise, because they can just keep on buying. They got a lot deeper pockets than you and I. So if I ignore that and just go with the system, we have validated a breaker right here. This is our breaker. Let's do a 1-minute chart over here on NQ. And we'll get rid of some of these lines. So we took a 4-hour high. And now we have validated a breaker right here. Candle body's closing below. We put up a fair value gap. And when I see that reversal pattern, I know it's good for at least 20 points most of the time. In Asia, we had one and it only went 8 points. So far, we've only gone 13 points, 14 points. So 20 points would be filling in that fair value gap right here, this one. So that may be all we want. But sometimes, especially in a day where settlement has been a magnet, it will return all the way to settlement. Sometimes you can get 50, 60 points out of it. Because it's bouncing around 50 so much and we have been so bullish on the day, I'm tempted to just take my profit and be happy with what I got. But at this point, I mean, I'm up $1,000 on the day. I have no risk on the trade. So what do I have to lose? If it goes my way, I get funded today. If it doesn't go my way, I'll live to trade again Monday with $1,000 day. I think I'm up 1,000. I did lose like $50 twice. I'm up $9.97. So I don't know. Maybe I should just book the profit and then work on getting a $400 day on Monday. I'm gonna have $1,000 day either way. So we'll let it ride. We'll let it ride. But it's very possible that I could get stopped out here. We won't look at that. We'll just look at this. Fundamentals. Here we have a breaker to the, a fair value gap to the upside. You got to include the volume imbalances. There's one there. Okay, so this was our blue guy. This is our orange guy. So far, this one is being respected, and its center is just around the psychological level of 450. And for anytime you see 50, 350, 450, 250, 150, 50 is a psych level. If we can stay above it, a lot of times we'll have a pull back up to 80 again. We didn't quite make it to 80. Sometimes it'll pull back to 50 and then go to 80, which we could see. But I'm hoping we flush. If we get back up there to the breaker, like we did yesterday, then I'll definitely get stopped out. I'd like to see it reject off this fair value gap here. This would be the breaker to the upside here. This one respected. So if you're in the mind to go long, you could go long right there on the, once this validates, this breaker right here validates. Which wouldn't be a bad trade on a directional day like we've had so far. It could certainly go back up. I'm just taking a shot in the dark here. It has the most upside, the most profit potential, because above here is just blue sky. You don't know where it's going. You don't know where it's going to stop. You don't know when you're going to get a reversal like this. So any longs would be a wing and a prayer and just hope, well, wow, where do you take profit? Do you grab $100 at a time? I don't know. Well, it looks like we're violating this fair value gap. Well, we did it with a wick. Yeah, I'd say really good chance I get stopped out here. It's almost 1 o'clock New York time. If we respect this fair value gap, I'm most likely going to lose this. I won't lose. I mean, I'll make $19, but I was up nearly $200. So that would have been one of them real good 10-point trades. Got in around here. A 10-point trade on 6 would have been about $120. So far, we're respecting it. 59 quarter. My stop's at 61.50. Man, I just kind of want to book this profit, but really, is it $60 going to make all that difference? Yeah, this is. I know how to make it go down. If I kill my trade, the bottom's going to fall out of the market. Come on, fill in that fair value gap, you dirtbag. So far, candle bodies have 100% respected that fair value gap to the downside. I hope that continues. All right, let's see some push. Let's see some push here. My TP is down here where I will get funded if it hits it at $410. I think that'll get me. We got to fill this guy in and keep going. I like that move. Can we keep it open? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Now it may just run these current lows and then reverse and go back up. So we just created liquidity right here. It may just run those and then go back up, or we could fall out of bed. I think at this point I can safely lock in some more profit to about right there. Yes, that's what I want to see. Big, long, red candles. Let's go. Nah, I don't want to see any of that. That means we're respecting the bullish fair value gap. We may just dance in between these, range for the rest of the day. But I want to see a massive sell off here. This would be a good time to see what kind of volume we're getting on these down candles. Oh, wrong one. There we go. It's not a ton of volume. We still have more volume on the green side. See, we're respecting this. We just took that low. We need to make a new low on this candle, or this is a done trade. Come on. New low. We've got 24 seconds. Just at least get past the halfway point of that sucker. There you go. Let's have a candle body close below. Good. NASDAQ, you're behaving so well today. I'm proud of you. You're usually not such a good little you're usually not on your best behavior. I'll just say that, but you're doing good. You're doing real good. The algorithm is tuned properly and offering price the way I like to see it offered. How we doing on this potential funding of this thing? We're at 1,200. We need 300 more. Well, that would put us at about 500. Let's see if we think we might be able to get there. Is it 20? I think we can get there. I'm going to put it down a little lower. Just, I mean, how much we need from right now? We need about $300 more from right here. Yeah, that should do it. If it'll get to 20, that'd be freaking awesome. It's been a while because I've been going berserk, reading like I've got to get funded today, every day, and taking completely unnecessary chances. This system works phenomenally well, and I'll take trades that are out of the system. I mean, even on this one, I entered a little early. Could have got smoked easily, and so I have days where I did that, and I have days where I'm stuck on an idea and I won't let go of it, and I'll just keep, like today, if I was like long minded, we were going to 20, 23.5 or whatever, and I just kept ever pull back buying, which it may not be a bad idea to do, but low hanging fruit here. I'm going to get rid of this volume again. We're still not seeing a whole lot of volume coming in. The price is falling good, but volume is also dropping good. So I'm not super, and you know, this candle right here had the most volume out of all of these. So I'm still not super convinced that we're falling out of bed here. But maybe we can take this. I don't know. Maybe it's just time of day. Why aren't we seeing more volume here? I'm going to lock in some more profit there. New low on this candle. Let's go. Just get me down to 20. You don't have to go all the way to a round number. Just get me down to 20. I'm not liking it. I'm out. It may go ahead and go my way, but Monday's coming, and for some reason, I mean, I feel like this should have gone, but this is what, and this is my buddy Adam, and he sent me a video ICT saying, well, when you see volume going down while price is falling, if this was a aggressive sell-off, the volume should be going up on these red candles, and it's not. It's only going up on the green. So that means buyers are still in control. So at the very least, even though we filled in this fair value gap and everything, at the very least, we should be able to lock in some profit here, maybe get another entry up here. I don't know. Asia did a head fake like this, then went and made a new high, and then reversed. But I think just the way I'm just not feeling comfortable with it. 400, a little under $400, $394 away from hitting the magic number, and I was already here once today, and then I took a couple of trades and I killed them quick, but I lost. I think I lost $200. I may just call it. We'll see how this pans out. But this, to me, that we should have been flushing, and these red volume bars should have been increasing. They should have been going up while we were going down. But the only candles that have like a lot of volume is this green one where we push down and straight back up. See right here, we didn't take any serious liquidity except for the volume and the fair value gap. But this is the lowest point on this rundown, and we just validated that dadgum breaker right there. So it's getting a little ambiguous. I do think we're going down. I do think we're going south. I'm just not willing to risk the combine on it right now because we have no follow through. And it's probably stupid of me not to do that. I should probably put on like one micro or something and just grab a little bit more money. But I've had a good day. I don't want to wreck it. I'm really bad about giving back my profit. This is my maturity coming out. Most likely, we're going to go back to settlement. Most likely. But are the conditions perfect for that? No. The signal's there, but we have been freaking bullish since the open. I've got a couple of things ringing in my head. Old Hogue on Topstep saying his dad, who was a floor trader for many years, he says, don't fight a directional day on a Friday. That's one thing. Another thing is ICT saying whenever we start making all-time highs, expect it to continue until proven otherwise. So we would need to have a big pullback on a major level to prove otherwise. And are we going to pull back here? Are we going to come back to settlement? It's possible, and it may happen. But I'm looking at, do I want to risk any of this money on a maybe on a Friday? And the answer to that's no, I don't. I mean, if we started ripping lower here or something, I still don't know if I'd risk it. I think it's a good trade, but I think I have made on a $2,000 loss. You got a $2,000 loss limit on in these 50K combines. You may think you've got 50K to trade with. Leverage wise, you may be able to get quite a bit of leverage in there, but you got $2,000 to play with. That's it. At any given time, you only have $2,000 to play with. So you're really working with a $2,000 account, whether you realize it or not. And when you have $1,000 day, you've increased your account by 50%. That is a freaking phenomenal day. 10% is a great day. 20% is a great day. 50% is a phenomenal day. Now, with Topstep, every day is at 50% because 2,000 is all you got to work with. It doesn't matter if you made 2,000 in one day. The next day, all you got to work with is 2,000. So you still have to keep those percentages in mind. 10% increase on a $2,000 account is 200 bucks. And over the course of 10 profitable $200 days, you've increased your account 100%. So yeah, you got 4,000 in there. But the way the combine rules work, the way the combine rules work is you don't have $4,000 in there. You still only have $2,000 in there. So you still have to keep those percentages in mind. And $1,000 day is 50%. To Monday morning, I'll still only have $2,000 to lose, but I'll only have to make 20% of that to get funded. Maybe I don't get it on Monday. Maybe I get 10% on Monday. Maybe I get 10% again on Tuesday. But if you think of it that way, instead of, oh, I've got to get this today, I'm gonna throw caution to the wind and I'm gonna get this funding today. If you think like that, you may end up blowing your account when you're $400 away. I've done it, so I'm speaking from experience. And so, even though this setup looks good, there's no follow through. Once we got to here, we halted. That's why I took the trade off. May it might come all the way back down here, but I don't want to do a might. Not at this stage of the game. I want to do a 100% sure this thing's going. And this has already gotten the 20 points that I would expect on a pullback, even on a all-time high kind of day. We pulled back our 20 points, and I do believe I got most of them, and I'm happy with that. If you can do one of these reversal patterns anywhere on the chart, whether it's a reversal pattern to the upside, downside, doesn't matter which direction the market's going, and you can get 15 points on a mini, you'll get $300 each time. And that's a pretty safe bet too. The only time I took one in Asia last night, let's see, where was it? It was this one right here. We validated this breaker right there. We validated it. I got in somewhere around here. Oh, I don't know. I might have got in right here when we did that fair value gap. I can't remember, but no, I was in when we started closing below here. I think I got in right there, expecting a 10-point flush, at least taking this low. I was just going to grab 10 points, $200. We'll say we got in at the breaker, and this moved 7 points and reversed. That doesn't happen very often. And I remember cussing it, saying, "Dadgum Asia." But when we made this other high, we validated another breaker here. No fair value gap. We didn't get the fair value gap until over here. Nice entry, fell out of bed. I took my profit early. I think I took my profit here at settlement, but my original take profit was 80 right here. Then it would have made it, but in it's Asia, I was scared to death that they were going to come all the way back up. So I went ahead and took my profit when we got to settlement. Or I think I took it at round number. I took it at round number. And then we moved to settlement. But, I had a mini on, and that was a pretty good run. So I was happy with it. What I'd done was, when it got down here, I moved my I moved my take profit to 404, and then we got taken out here, and then it went on to my original target at 80. So yeah, um, very rarely do you see it fail to get 10 points, but that was one example of when it did. You can do that to the other side too. So let's say we came down here, we swept these lows, and now we have a bullish breaker right here, even in this range here. We validate it with a fair value gap. It provides an entry right here on this candle. And do we get 10 points? I can't reach the top. We did. We got 10 points. We got more than 10. So that's you'd enter somewhere right there and you get 11 points. That's 200 bucks. That's ambiguous though. We validate again right here. Candle body closed below. We come back up, make a higher low. If you got in there, you'd have gotten smoked unless you had a really big stop loss. That's only 7 points. You'd have been fine. We come back down. We validate again. You get in right there, and you're good. You're good all the way to settlement. That's the one I took. I didn't think Asia was just going to keep on ripping higher all night because it's a range market. And so I played that range. It worked out. Looks like we are starting to offer lower over here finally. I'm still not convinced that we're going to go all the way back to settlement. This purple line is what I was working with in Asia session. So I'm going to leave it alone. I just feel like this move should have been more aggressive. We did finally get a red candle with enough volume that it surpassed the green candles. That's giving me a little bit of hope. What if we just took a 2 spot? I mean, that's a fair value gap to the downside. We wicked into it there. I'll try a 2 spot at 40. Nah, I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to call this a good day. But I do think we're going to go offer down to settlement here. We didn't bounce at all when we took that low. We didn't even hiccup. One red candle and a sea of green. Little bit of a bounce there. I don't know, folks. Look at that green volume candle. That means some stops were taken here. They were filled. A lot of people had their stops here. And when they got filled, boom. the move to the downside is just not aggressive at all. If I was going to do anything here, I would take a long. But I'm not going to go against this. If this validates, that breaker right there, if it validates, maybe I'd take a long. We can get rid of this because we got a brand new all-time high. We can move it way up here now. Grab that dot, move it. I might take a long if this validates. Right here. At least back to breaker, huh? Fair value gap forming. Order block. Bullish. Lots of volume. What does it need to do to validate? Well, we need to have candle bodies start closing above this purple line. And we would need to have a fair value gap to the upside where we can get an entry like you would on this one. You would get an entry right there on that candle for more downside. If I was impatient, I would take a trade already. I think we go at least back to 50. That'd be 7 points. This is looking sweet, and it's in tune with today. What kind of volume we getting on this one? Not really all that much volume, really. It's just flat. So here we have flat volume and price moving higher. That's the only one where we had a jump in volume. Now we have price going higher. Volume didn't go higher. Volume went lower as price went higher. No fair value gaps yet. Potentially one right here if that stays open. We got 45 seconds to find out. Nope, did not stay open. So we could just be running liquidity up to this fair value gap right here and continue with more downside. Look at a 15-minute chart here for a second. 15-minute chart perspective. We went up, 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 up. We opened way down here. This candle right there. That's our opening candle. See how that volume kind of messes things up? Opening candle, first press. I'm going to get rid of it for now. It's not really in play. I'm going to get rid of that one too. So opening candle is here. Opening range high there. Consolidated. Finally moved away. Took out the all-time high. Put up a reversal signal. We're working into this 15-minute fair value gap right there to the upside. Right there. Work into the halfway point a bit. Ambiguity, that's what I see. I mean, you could take a risk and take a long here. We did validate the breaker. From a higher time frame perspective, we respected this bullish 15-minute fair value gap. But we have no fair value gaps to the upside after validating this breaker. If we get one, and we can invert this guy, more upside is potential. There is more potential. But what are you going to aim for? All-time high is all you could aim for. How far away is that? Will we get there? Get through this breaker. 76. So if you got in, you got 20 points upside. Maybe more, but it's a question mark. So we wicked into these guys, taking that liquidity. If we're going to offer lower, I'd like to see a really nice push down here. I'm encouraged by the fact that we have no fair value gaps here. We wicked it. We pulled back immediately. What kind of volume? Nice. Equaled all of that green running up. I'm going to try to sell 3 right there. That's all I'm going to sell. That's all I'm going to do is 3. I'm going to do it at 50. And I'll do it at that wick, a wick test. Ooh, it's going to run away without me, isn't it? I'll do it wherever this candle finishes. I'll do it at the halfway point of this candle. All right, so about there would be 47. Oh, heck, that's where I am now. 47.50 is where I am. 47. Yeah, it looks like it's going to fill me. There we go. 47. Volume and balance would have been a good spot too. All right, let's see if I get smoked here. High potential of getting smoked. I'm not going to let it get down more than $20, $30. I'm going to kill it because I am not confident in this trade. But the entry's good. The risk is low. But we need to see a decisive move down here rather quickly, or I will be out. I want to see it taking out this low, taking out this 15-minute fair value gap within the next 5 minutes. It's 1:30. This is the time of day we should be making a move. $2:30 New York, I guess. Oh, is it 1:30 New York? 1:30 New York. So this is the time of day we should be making a move. What time did this move start? About 12:30. That's typically the time of day that we make a move as well. But yeah, I like this setup. I don't hate it. We need to get past this breaker though. We need to move away from this area. If we just keep dancing, I'm gonna kill it. Oh my gosh. See, that's what I'm afraid of. What kind of volume we're getting on that guy? Not bad. Not bad volume at all. Yeah, I'm out. I'm out. I'm not wasting any more of my money on this maybe. I feel like we should go higher from here. I really do. This will be our fair value gap to the upside from this breaker if it stays open. But it may not stay open. We're inverting this guy. That would be more in tune with the path of the day. We pulled back, clearly took a level that the market was interested in, and put up a lot of volume. There was a lot of stops there. If this stays open, I might go long, but it needs to stay open. So far, we got 26 seconds remaining, and this is our fair value gap right here to the upside so far. But we have 26 seconds remaining. We may fill it. All right, it stayed open. I'm going to do something crazy here. I'm going to buy one right there. I'm going to pretend like this no longer exists. We'll work off of this one and potentially right there. Touching the breaker, that would be a good spot to touch the breaker. You got to go. We can't be hanging out here. Nope. Uh-uh. We cannot be hanging out here. We can't close that in and still be bullish. Got to move. Let's go. That's 10 points right there. Can we get 10 points? Here, I'm focused on my P&L here. I don't know for sure if they will let me if it goes up there and fills that $400 order. I'm not sure if they'll let me get funded on this because I'll be over 50% by just a little bit, by 50 bucks. I like this setup, but once again, no follow through. We should be leaving town. We should not be hanging out. I'm going to count to five. If we hadn't moved out of this range right here, I'm out. Five, four, three, two, one. I'm out. Okay, so I'm back to saving, locking myself out for the day. I'm done. I'm done. I'll keep trying if I don't get out. So I'm locked out. That's it. Done for the day. We'll live to trade again on Monday. Thank y'all for watching. I think this market could go either direction right now. I think you could take a long with confidence just based on that signal. You could get at least to the breaker. And once it gets to the breaker, you may be able to take a short. But I like the long just because it's in line with the path of the day. The trend of the day has been up. So I do like this long. The signal's there. You want to play it, play it. I'm just really averse to losing any money right now. So y'all enjoy. Thanks for watching. This is my second stream of the day, so sorry to hit you twice, but I felt like this was a good opportunity that just didn't